get to play with my pedals on camera much. Hey folks, Dagan here, and today I thought it's time for an updated 2024 live rig rundown with myself. Now it's been a little while since the last rig rundown I did, which was in 2022, I think, on the PMTV UK YouTube channel. And a lot's changed since then, and you're probably wondering why are you doing a rig rundown not on stage? I did film a total rig rundown, so I've just been on tour with, well, a couple of dates with my band, Thanks for the Memories, and we played the Key Club in Leeds and the Fleece in Bristol. Thank you if anyone is watching this who came down. I filmed an entire rundown and it was out of focus. So I'm back here in my lovely little home studio, my little den, to show you my rig, what I've been using live, what I will be using live in the future on the Thanks for the Memories dates. They're all linked in the description box down below, so get yourself down there and check out the dates. I'm definitely playing somewhere near you either the end of this year or the start of next year in 2025. This is my rig. It's weird doing this for myself. I normally talk to people doing this, but people want to know what I play live. And these are all just for show in my studio. I'm a modern guitar player who gigs a lot at weekends with a cover band, like doing corporate gigs and stuff and weddings and whatnot. So portability is key, but also versatility and great tone. So to start with, let's talk about the guitars, and then we'll go on to the pedal board and the amp I'm using. What is a massive shame is the fact that I'm not using my lovely Kramer Pacer on any of these dates or any of these tours, simply because it doesn't facilitate a Floyd Rose, and I need lots of guitars with different tunings, and obviously with no Floyd Rose I can use one as a backup if something goes wrong to another guitar, easily tune it. And as much as I'd love to bring 8 guitars on the road with Floyd Roses, I just can't. There's not enough space in the van. So there is going to be a full video rundown of this guitar on my channel, Dagan Welcome, where you're watching this right now, where I go in depth with all the mods I've done, all the history and loveliness of my Kramer Pacer. But for now, it's just getting used in a lot of videos as a demo guitar, and also I use it a lot with my friend Aiken, who's quite an established DJ. He does his DJ set, and I just shred some 80s solos over the top of it, as you can see on screen right now. It's a load of fun. That gets loads of love for that. But right now, on this tour I'm doing, it's all SGs. And as some of you might know, the SG is my favorite guitar of all time. And this guitar right here is my dream guitar, my favorite guitar of all time. It's an SG Custom. This is the guitar that I cut out of magazines as a kid and stuck on my wall with Pritt stick just to be like, yes, one day I will have that guitar. And I've got it. I got it before the prices went absolutely ridiculous. It's a very special guitar to me. My mum unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and I got some money from that happening, so bought my dream guitar. Why not? Why not play something and use something? Pretty much daily I play this guitar. And it means the world to me for a number of reasons, obviously with her, but also it's cool and I've always wanted one. So this is the main guitar. This is the standard guitar. Well, E flat. We play an E flat. I always play an E flat unless it's a new product review on PMTV UK. But yeah, E flat. I use a different guitar, which I'll talk about in a second, for drop D stuff, simply because I'm not just being tacky. I am being tacky a bit by bringing loads of SGs on tour, but these Maestro vibrolas are the coolest looking things you can ever do to an SG. They make the guitar look phenomenal. Angus Young, just in a nutshell, it's awesome. But they don't really like getting tuned and getting fiddled with. So if I can just keep a guitar in standard and keep a specific drop D SG, a drop D SG, that's what that's for. This is the standard guitar. I got this guitar from my good friend, the very famous, let's say, Richard Henry, who's the guy who was in charge of Kirk Hammett getting Greenie and stuff like that. The guy's an absolute legend. I got this from him, and it's pretty much stock. It's been changed from the vibrola to a stop bar and then back to the vibrola in the past. The pickups are stock, however, I have disconnected the middle pickup, but I love the way 3 pickups look. It's just the most iconic thing ever, as you'll see with my other red SG in a bit. It's just iconic, but my pick gets in the way. So That's disconnected and just slammed down, and the 3-way switch works as a standard SG. That's just there because it looks bloody awesome. Up at the headstock, I did change the tuners to Spursel locking tuners. Not particularly because the other ones were bad, I just always wanted Spursel locking tuners because I loved the way they looked, and none of the guitars that I had or had access to had Spursels, and I thought they looked really cool. So I got gold Spursels on. I might change them back, so I'm kind of over it now, but it's got Spursels on for now. And on the back, that's not relic work. A few people said that's a really crappy relic job. I put stickers on the back of all my guitars, okay? I always have done, and I always will. I stuck a Californian bumper sticker on the back of this on a trip when I got back from LA one time, and it just reacted immediately with the nitro and started sliding around and just burned an entire hole in it. So that's not relic. I'm not gonna pretend it's relic. The pin was taken off and I had to sand it down smooth because it was really bumpy and gross. It's got Just Noise as a sticker there because, again, this is quite a sentimental guitar, and my mum's dad, my granddad, hated rock music. Absolutely hated it. He thought it was just noise. So, Just Noise. And on my birthday last year, I got it signed by Billy Gibbons. Toby Lee sorted me out. Good mate Toby Lee, you probably know who Toby Lee is. He was playing with Billy Gibbons on my birthday day in Birmingham. And I was like, Toby, dude, if you see Billy, I'll give you my guitar, get him to sign it. So Billy Gibbons signed my SG, and this is my pride and joy guitar. And for the people that care and want to know, it's an 04 model. So it's 20 years old. I just realised that now, it's 20 years old. So wish this, my SG Custom, the happy birthday in the comments. I got it in 2018? Yeah, so I've had it a long time, and it's never left my side since. I love it more and more every day. Pickup wise though, it is just stock. So it's got the PAF kind of replicas in this guitar. So I play heavier stuff, and it doesn't lend itself to that massively. I guess sometimes it's a bit spongy, but I might change it at some point. But for now, I'm more than happy. I'm very happy. Eddie had a PAF in the original Frankenstein, so yeah, I wrote that for now. So that's a standard guitar. That's the SG Custom. Let's move over to the lovely other white SG, which is the Drop D Standard. So this is a 2014 Gibson SG Standard. I've had this is one of my few new guitars. Obviously a lot of the guitars here around me, how many have I had from new? Not a lot. This is one of the first new guitars I got. This was 2014. The year before they went all crazy with the Gibson and put the crazy necks and the thin wide necks and the brass nuts and stuff. But this did originally have the mini tune tuners, which lasted about 45 seconds. But before I took them off and put on what is now, and all of the Spursels on the Custom, my favourite set of tuners. These are the D'Addario Auto Snip tuners. They're so smooth. They're so bloody smooth. Over time, the Spursels have weirdly kind of lost the smoothness. I've had these since 2014, and they're just lovely. Great tuners. Great tuners. It is kind of stock, like I say on the back of this. It's not relic. I put a sticker on, like I explained just before, if you have skipped that bit, and I melted the nitro. This one genuinely is. This one has seen a lot. So everything is legit. It's starting to check down the way. Not loads on the back, there's a bit on the back, but like I said, I love putting stickers on my guitars for my favourite things in the world, just so I look down and go, oh, that's really cool. So I've got Prince, I've got a Heartground, I've got Lamborghini, Jack White, CKY, and a bumper sticker from California, which is what burnt the back of that bloody guitar. But for some reason on this guitar, it's lovely. And setup wise, it's got a vibrola, but it's also had a stop bar as well. The arm got stuck once. I tried to tighten it and I sheathed the screw off. So I took a Dremel and just sliced it off. So that's why that's smooth and there's no arm or even arm bit, because I just sliced it off with a Dremel. Neck pickup is original. It's a 57 Classic. Lovely kind of... Actually, yeah. There's a coil tap in it as well. So if you want to get single coily and stuff. But I forgot that was there, so I never really used that. But the bridge pickup is interesting because Probably my favorite bridge pickup I've ever used. It's the same thing that's in this. However, this one's made out of a whiskey barrel, and the bobbins on this one aren't. This is a Schecter USA Custom Shop Pasadena Plus. So it's handmade in the Schecter Custom Shop. I love Schecter guitars so much. I have such an affiliation with that brand, the way they are, the guitars they make, the whole kind of thing they do. I just love Schecter so much. Obviously, I'm a Gibson guy through and through. My blood runs Gibson and SGs and the whole Angus Young thing. But Schecter, as a modern day brand, I love them. And their pickups are so kick-ass. So this is a Schecter Pasadena Plus, which I think was crafted or designed in collaboration with Zacky Vengeance from Avenged Sevenfold, one of my favorite bands of all time. So besides the pickup and the vibrola getting sliced off and stuff, and it's got my name on the truss rod cover because I'm tacky, it's all original. It's lovely. I did, just so I like showing people, there's a little thing on the headstock where I tried to glue two things to it. I tried to glue a dime, an American dime, because I love Dimebag Darrell, and a sixpence, because I love Brian May. But as soon as I put that on there, I was like, the guitar feels off. The weight's all off, because guitar players, as we know, are all stuck on our own heads. I was like, that's weird. So I took them off with the screwdriver and put white nail varnish on the top, so that's why that's there. You'd never see that unless I told you in this video, so. This is the drop D/C sharp SG. But we do get heavier with my first proper guitar, and that's this 2006 SG Standard, which is tuned to drop C. So let's plug this guy in and tell you about what the hell is going on here. I love drop C so bloody much. So, this is my 2006 SG Standard, and this was my first proper guitar as a kid. I had two proper guitars since my first guitar, which is over there. There's a video coming on that, my first guitar, very soon. Had a Schecter Syngate. Before that, I had this guitar, which I bought, which my parents nicely bought for me with a snapped headstock. So it was only £380 for a Gibson SG. I was 16, had a snapped headstock, and my dad was like, I can glue that. And he glued it, and it lasted ages. It lasted so long, it lasted until KLM, I was playing a festival in Finland with my old band years ago, and KLM Airlines managed to snap the headstock off. So I borrowed, I'm getting into a tangent now, Ben Christo from the Sisters of Mercy, he was there, he lent me his Dean Cadillac, and I played with the Dean Cadillac for the night in a festival in Finland, because this was snapped. So I took it away to get professionally repaired, which was great, awesome. My cat knocked it off when I, a few years ago, snapped it again. I was like, you know what, my dad's lasted ages, so let's just put some glue in and clamp it, and now it's here. This is my 06 SG, and I've ravaged it to bits. It's a beast. I know this neck better than any other guitar that I've got. It's so lovely, and it's not original in the slightest. I think one of the pots, maybe one of the tone pots might be original, ever so slightly. Oh, the tuners are original. The tuners are from 2006, so yeah, it's a Cherry SG, vibrolas on it, and there's 3 pickups, and the middle pickup's interesting. So like I said before, with the SG Custom, I'm not a big fan of middle pickups. They get in the way, but I love the way they look, and I thought this would be just ridiculous, so I put a middle pickup in it. The bridge pickup is an amazing pickup. It's a Pariah Blackheart. There's a company called Pariah, which I think are from Detroit in the USA. They made me this Blackheart. They do so many amazing Van Halen pickups. So many amazing Van Halen pickups, but I asked for a Blackheart because it kind of fit what I was doing. And this just rips. Blackheart was actually in the Kramer before I put the Pasadena Plus Schecter pickup in. The neck is a G59, Seymour Duncan 59, and the middle pickup is a 57. The bridge pickup from this. So it's a 57 Classic, and the bridge in the middle of this, the neck is a Seymour Duncan 59, and for the bridge pickup, you turn it on and off, sorry, with this little switch here. So I wanted to Frank Zappa it, and the little switch next to it, which is fallen into the body, reverses the polarity. I don't know what it's left on now, but yeah. So that's the Drop C SG, my first SG, and no stickers on this one, but there is a cigarette burn. I drilled through the body there when I was drilling it out. I love this guitar so much, and yeah, this is the Drop C SG. String-wise, I'm using my favourite strings on the planet. These are the D'Addario XS strings that last forever and feel lovely under your fingertips. I'm using 10 to 52, so slightly slinky-ish on the higher end, and a thicker string on the low. But let's move back to the main SG to show you the rest of the rig, I guess. Last thing with the guitars, all the bits and bobs and whatnot, I always put my picks on the headstock as well as on the mic stand, because I saw Slash do it once and I was like, that's very handy. I like to wander around a lot when I'm on stage into the crowd and stuff, so I haven't always got a mic stand handy for picks, and I drop picks all the bloody time, so I'm always trying to show off and play things that I can never usually play, but for sometimes live you nail it and it's really good. So the picks are on the headstock with some double-sided tape, and probably one of the most important things that I've realized recently as a 31-year-old man is a good strap, and the best straps in the world are Camp straps. They're made in the UK, lovely handmade leather straps. I found them through Manson guitars, through Matt Bellamy's guitars. I got really old. Yeah, this is a really old Manson guitar strap I got when I think I got this. And this was my main touring strap for years and years and years. It's seen many better, well, it hasn't seen better days because it's still a solid strap, but when I saw they were doing the Camp stuff, I got a belt, my belt's Camp, my guitar strap's Camp, the other straps are Camp. I think they were awesome company. And handmade British leather straps with fancy buckles on. It's got my initials on the back as well because I'm tacky. You can choose the color of the inside, you can choose the color of the stitching. Just really cool. And it's like buying a nice piece of clothing. It's something kind of bespoke and for you. And for that, when you've got nice gear and stuff and you enjoy your stuff, I think there's nothing better. As much as a good Dunlop seatbelt strap is, when you get something special, you need something special to hold it, and I always use Camp straps because they're brilliant. I will link everything I use in the description box down below so you can check it out in your own time, whether it's, I don't know, a Camp strap or D'Addario locking tuners or anything in between. They're all linked down there. Last thing with the guitar, I guess. Guitar picks. What picks do I use? I get asked about my picks all the time, and I probably should start selling them. Would anyone out there want to buy a pick for £1 or something on a website somewhere? These are my own picks that Dunlop made for me. I've been a Dunlop pick user for years, and I use the Jazz 3 XL 1.14s. But these have my signature on one side and my name in the Motley Crue Theatre of Pain, that one there, you can see it on the thing, font on the other side, because I love stuff like that. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan. I was like, my name would look really cool in that font. If you want to get the same picks without my daft name on, it's just the purple 1.14 Jazz 3 XLs from Dunlop. The lovely little purple picks. I've used them for years, but now I'm lucky enough to get my name on these ones, which is just awesome. Thank you Westside and thank you Dunlop. So that's the guitar and everything that touches the guitar. Moving away from the guitar is my wireless system. That's the first thing I want to talk about. I've used wirelesses for years in the house, in the studio. I just love not being tethered. The only time I ever use wires is in the PMC VUK studio, because it's just easier and you film so much that I can't be changing and recharging batteries all the time. But 99.9% of the time when I'm playing guitar, I use wireless systems, more specifically the Shure GLX-D Advanced system. And hopefully, as you can see on screen right now, it's tatty, it's battered, it's been around the mill. In hindsight, I probably should have got the Pedalboard tuner version, the 14. This is the 16 or the 18, I think. But I used to have a Fractal Axe FX3, so this was in the rack with that. But it's just the best thing in the world. It's so clear, it's so accurate, it's so touch sensitive. It's just wonderful. And my favorite thing about this system in particular is the fact that it's got rechargeable lithium-ion battery things. So in the transmitter, got these little battery guys which charge in the receiver. So I've got two of these. This isn't the case with the tuner one, the 14, but with the big box one, you can tune it in there. So there's always one charging while there's one on the guitar, and you can switch them out. I mean, they last like 20 hours or something. So I've never had one die on me. I always get catch them in time because it says on the front how long you've got left, but that's the first thing. I guess the pedal board hits. Now, speaking of wireless, before we get into the pedal board itself, I thought I'd touch on something which is new-ish to me, and that's in-ear monitors. I never used in-ear monitors because I thought they were all, everyone I used were all muffled, and it kind of takes you out of the moment. So you can't really rock out as hard and stuff, but I was literally forced to by the band because we were sick of carrying around a monitor just for me to rock a set. And I got these X-Vive U4 transmitter and stuff. I don't think they're very expensive. And it changed my world. It really changed as long as you have like access to, and your sound guy is decent enough to get the levels right and stuff. They're so clear, they're so pointy. It sounds like you're standing in front of an amplifier. You probably might use them already or realize this is stupid, or I know there's fancy Shure ones and stuff, but for me, for the price and stuff, I'd use other variations, and these ones just kind of tick all the boxes for me. So you get consistent sound all night, just in your ears, and I am guilty of turning them up too loud, because I like a loud stage sound, so these are quite loud, and that's bad when I use them with my Shure SE215s, but yeah, people want to know, I use X-Vive, just in-ear monitors, and they've changed the way I play guitar live, because I can focus on more playing as well as not having a muffled weird sound which takes you out the moment. They're so clear and kind of dynamic. What's the right word to use for it? But yeah, it keeps you in the moment weirdly. Great things. So this is the board right here, as you can see from this encroaching iPhone, because I haven't got PMT's money and I can't afford fancy cameras and stuff, so I'm rocking iPhones, but they do the job just great. This is the board. This is where the magic happens. Pedal board itself, I'm using the awesome D'Addario Expand pedal board. This is the 2, so the bigger one. And not only is this a great pedal board in its own right, like it's sturdy and well made, it expands and contracts depending on how many pedals you want to use. So if I'm doing a gig and I don't need a lot of pedals, but I want a good board, I'll make it small. But as of right now, it fits all my pedals on, and it's just simply lovely. The bag it comes in is great as well. I'm going to shoot a video on this in the future, but the most important pedal on my board is the volume pedal. It's the first thing the guitar hits. I never use the volume on the guitar, just because I like to play and alter. That's just the same as using. The tonality might be a little slightly different, but when you're in the mix with a band, it's all the same thing. So I use the volume pedal more than I probably should. Would be a kill switch or whatever. It's just I need a volume pedal. The way I play guitar these days live, I've got to have a volume pedal. And my favorite one, I've tried them all, Ernie Balls, Bosses and stuff. The Dunlop ones are the smoothest, most wonderful. Wait. Love it. And there's a tuner, I think it's a Polytune 2. I just got it because it was small, but it was too white, so I covered it in black tape in the tuner output. So when this is all the way down, it's a tuner. Does the Polytune thing with all the strings. But I like having it in the volume pedal, so even when it's on and I'm playing, if I think I might be out of tune in the in-ears, I can be like. You can check in real time, you haven't got to mute the signal and do that. You can do that with other tuners, but I like the Polytune for some reason. Now, before we get into the pedals, the main bulk of the tone, well, all of the tone is coming from the Blackstar AMPED 2. And yes, they are very much usually red, but my friend had some gold vinyl after wrapping someone's car, and I wrapped it in gold because I like things that shine and are weird and to stand out. But it is an AMP 2, a standard AMP 2. I've used the AMP 1 in the past. I haven't had a lot of time with the AMP 3. I used it for a video, but the AMP 2 is just the one for me because that's the one with the built-in effects. And the more you can condense into a little pedal, the better for me. So there's built-in modulation, there's built-in reverb, delay, and overdrives and stuff. However, I really only use the delay. Because it's a lovely delay. And I've got my other modulation sounds and drive sounds that I like. So if you're unfamiliar with the Blackstar amped range, they're Blackstar amps in a pedalboard friendly box. The Amp 3 has clean tranche and overdrive, this has the effects, and the Amp 1 is a small little kind of preamp pedal with amp tones built in. This is the one I like, and I rock it on the classic setting. So it's a classic, well, the Blackstar tone. This is the US setting. UK, I think it's like a Voxy. Actually, that's quite nice with the... I'm playing with that later, but I have it on the classic setting, which is the bottom switch. But not only can you choose between the different voicings of the amplifier, you can also choose the different valve responses. So I'm on EL34s, you can have 36s, 84s, sorry, and 6L6s. So that's just straight up the Amp 1, Amp 2. It's very percussive sounding, and I love it. You can run it because it has got a 100-watt power amp in it into a speaker cab if you wanted to, but I just run straight into the PA system because it's just easy to rock up to gigs with just a pedal board and a guitar. You might have noticed on mine as well is the big rubber foot switches. That doesn't come on the originals. You get little silver foot switches. I've just super glued. They are the rubber feet on Crybaby Wars. I've just super glued them to the top, so they're easier for me to hit at a gig because I've got big stupid feet. And I normally wear big leather pointy boots and I need to be sure where I'm clicking. So that's a thing. The modulation has got phaser and chorus built in, but I use it for tremolo at the end of songs and stuff. Because the time is right at the edge and I can turn it down live. It takes a bit of doing, but that is how I use the modulation live. So that's my Amp 2, that's where all the tone is coming from. None of the other pedals were turned on during that time. I've got the master volume turned down, stuck down so I don't knock it, so it's consistent every night at gigs. Check settings in big letters there because I always knock settings when it's in the bag. And the amped cab rig switch. I'm rocking my own little thing I made there with a 4x12 and a dynamic mic. That's the Amp 2, that's where all the tone comes from. So, like I said before, the wireless goes into the tuner, into the volume pedal, which in turn has a tuner built into it. Then into my wah. Love a good wah. Now, I always swore by using bass wahs. I love my bass wah. I use bass wah for guitar most of the time, but for what I'm doing at the minute, I need a regular wah. So this is a Morley. This is a wah that Morley made for me a couple of years ago, actually, out of nowhere. It was a surprise gift. And it was, it's actually in the RAF colours, the British Royal Air Force. So it's like the camouflage with the big roundel bullet look like thing. But I just covered it in black Tolex so it looks sleek on my board. And I didn't want to ruin the nice paint job. But it's a Tremonti wah. So the Mark Tremonti signature wah, so it's got tape down there on the side. It's got the level boost, the line boost, which is like 1 o'clock. I love a Morley wah. My first ever proper wah pedal was a Bad Horsey, and this is what the trombone wah is based off. And it's optical, so it's on off with the, so for the whole. That whole thing, love that wah, it's amazing. Moving on from that, you have my chorus, which is the MXR Wild Audio chorus, and MXR make the best choruses for saturated, distorted music. All the settings are taped down because again I knock everything. Yeah, I think it's just a paint job for the Wild Audio stuff, but the MXR choruses are the best in my opinion for the heavier kinds of playing out there. Moving on from that, we go into the CKY pedal, which is just for this. Or maybe even reverb. So that is an old Electro-Harmonix octave multiplexer, which has been modified in a way to make it a bit more Boss OC-ish, OC3. It only runs on high milliamps now though, so I've got a little sticker on the bottom. It says, I think it runs on like 400 milliamps or something stupid like that, and I have no idea why. But it sounds different to a regular one. I've got a regular one in a drawer over there, and it does sound different. CKY is one of my favorite bands of all time, and that kind of old school analog octave tone is just so bloody iconic. It's amazing. But for that old school analog octave, it's just there. It's so special. Speaking of special, there's a pedal which is actually I've had for sale for a bit, but I can't really push it online because I love it so much. This is just a standard EVH Phase 90, but it's the 35th anniversary edition. So instead of it being red, white, and black, it's got the old Eruption Mark 1 Frankenstrat design of just white and black. Phaser, does what it says on the tin. The EVH ones are cool because you can go between the script and the block logo with a little button up here, but it's just over 9 o'clock for me because that's the tone right there. Then I go into this lovely transparent overdrive, which for solos and stuff just adds a little bit of something. Clean boost right now. The drive's all the way down, which I know what a lot of people say the diode's on firing unless the gain's up, but that's how I'm using it right now. And there's a secret box, which you can see there, just behind the wah, which does what it says on the tin. That's a secret box. It's for me to know and for you not to know. the secret box works out in the future, I might put the secret box for sale, or versions of the secret box. But for now, it's just a secret box. We all have to live with that. The last pedal is, again, one of my favorite pedals ever. And what this pedal is, right, is a dual boost pedal that I made. 2 boosts in one, and there's a little switch to go between treble boosts and stuff, but I never use that. And it's called the I Right, because I'm from Newcastle in the UK. I'm a Geordie, and if Geordies like something, you go, aye. If you really like it, you go, aye, right. So there's two sides to it. The first one, I, gives you a bit of something, and then right gives you loads more. So I use I. It is just a volume boost. Besides right, which has a little switch on, which is a treble boost. It's a 3-way switch, but only the left side works as a treble boost, and the middle and the right are regular, clean boosts. So the left side gives you a little bit, depending on where the control is. And I use that when I do, I'm playing a song and I'm doing the octaves, the high octave lead part, but someone may be singing, and I don't want to do a whole volume boost to be loud, just as loud as the singer and stuff. I want to be cutting through the mix a bit more than the rhythm guitar player. So I'll use the I side when I want to do a bit of... just cut through a little bit more. And the right side is my solo boost. Am I clipping the thing? That's clipped. So that's I and rights on both sides, and when you turn them both on, that's for the end of the set. That's the whole. They're both on I rights at that moment, and with that being the end of the set, this is also the end of this little video. Thanks for sticking around for so long. I've been here a little while, but I've had a blast showing you my 2024 setup. There will be more videos on my own personal channel, going through all my guitars, what I love about them, what I've changed about them, my first Kramer, my recent Kramer, and all the weird mods and stuff, and the Mick Mars guitars, and all the amps, and my old Marshalls, and the new Blackstars, and everything in between. So hit subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next from myself. Like I said earlier, I'll link everything down below so you can check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Dagan. You'll find me at Dagan Wilkin on Instagram if you don't follow me already. Give me a follow. I'll catch you next time. See ya.